All right, guys, this is your demonstration for how to do your contour drawing for your portrait. Okay, what you should already have is you should have your image that should have 8 by 10 boxes on it. So that's 8 boxes across, 10 going down. And then you should also have prepared this from last class. It's a lightly drawn grid. It should be 8 boxes by 10 boxes. So it's the same amount of boxes on each. Now, what you're gonna go ahead and do is you're gonna do everything on this. Again, it's all light drawing, so you're just using a pencil, you're not pressing down hard. No shading today. You're gonna go ahead and you're gonna draw everything that's in the first box in the corner, and then you're gonna move over. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you'll come down to the next row, 1, 2, 3, and you're gonna go like a typewriter. So gradually you're gonna see the information begin to appear. Now it's only line work today. So you are not drawing or shading anything. Don't worry about the background. That should remain plain as well, okay? So let me go ahead and demonstrate. As you can see, in this first box, there's nothing. So I'm not gonna draw anything. I can skip over to my second box, and all I see here is just this very small little angle of my hair. So I'm just gonna draw that little angle. So what I would go ahead and do is in the box that I know it's supposed to go in, I would draw that exact little shape right in that box, okay? Now I'm gonna come over and do my next box so I can see here, there's just a little shape of where my hair goes, and I'm gonna pay attention to where it enters on one side and where it exits the other. I don't really need a whole lot of other information. Paying attention to, you know what, this gap here is a lot smaller than this gap when I'm trying to get my proportions. So it's a little mini drawing in each one, so I'm gonna go ahead now. I'm gonna look, it kind of comes up even higher. There's just a little bit of negative space here, so I'm not gonna do anything there. And now you can see, I added that little piece there. And then I would come over to the next one where I can see it kind of hooks down into this box here. All right, pay attention to where it enters and where it exits. And I would go ahead and add that information. Then I would come to the next box here. And then, oh, there's nothing in 1, 2, 3, so I can skip these boxes, and my first row is done, okay? Now I'm gonna bump down to the next row. There's nothing in this box. See, there's nothing, so I don't need to do anything. I can come over, oh, there's a little hook of the side of my head. Let me go ahead and add this here. There's just a tiny little sliver right here in this box. So paying attention, like I can notice, it doesn't touch the edge of this box here. There's a little gap there, so I need to accommodate that little tiny gap. Paying attention to where things go in each box. Okay, I also see like part of my hairline. So I'm gonna come in, and you can see I just added that next box. So I'm gonna go ahead and repeat this here, and I'm gonna continue to go row by row. And it is important when you do any sort of grid drawing to make sure that you're only drawing row by row. I want accuracy. I'm pressing down very lightly. Now I can go a little bit faster because I've been doing this for a while. All right, some of you guys that are new to this, all right, I don't want you to rush this, okay? There's no point in rushing this. I'm just asking you to do a little pencil drawing. These have nothing, so I'm gonna come over to my next one. Here's the side of my head. You're not worrying about any form of shading right now. That's not a worry. Now, if you have interior lines, I know you guys don't have as many wrinkles as I do, but I have a few wrinkles. I call them character lines. So you can see now, I can skip over the areas I don't have wrinkles. And I'm gonna add in the side of my hair here. Nothing here, so I'm gonna come down again. And gradually, this is going to form the proportions of my portrait. So already, guys, I've got my first 3. That's 30% of my drawing, and I'm gonna continue to move across. Now you're gonna run into some areas of detail. So for instance, here, I can see part of my eyebrow. All right, sometimes you gotta give yourself little guideline marks in those boxes to make it accurate. Pay attention to spatial relationships and gaps. All right, like I can see this top part of the eye comes right out of the corner here. So you can see I'm adding this little piece here and the little eyelid area, little shadow area. So I'm gonna be very specific with how I'm trying to draw this. Down into this one. But I'm not going to draw the whole eye because right now I'm going box by box. And it's important you guys do that. All right, if you try to go too far, especially if you're not strong in portraiture, all right, you're only going to confuse yourself, guys. I'm telling you, you really don't want to confuse yourself. You really don't want to make this an issue. You want to stay with the instructions and the process. It'll make it so much easier, guys. Anybody can draw a portrait just like anybody could draw a dog or a cat or really anything, as long as you take the time to just follow the steps. All right, I'm not asking you to do much more than just follow some simple steps as you're trying to finish this portrait, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do one more row because it's gonna have some of the eyes in here. So I'm still moving down. You guys can see I've already finished 4 rows now. I'm gonna move down one more. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. I expect you guys to do this process. I'm not making this video for you guys just to go in and rush this. I'm trying to teach you how to draw a portrait with a grid. So now I'm moving over to this box here, paying attention to spatial relationships. All right, I can see that the angle of my eyes, the eyeball actually doesn't quite touch what's up here, and that's a good thing. Makes it a lot easier for me. I'm gonna pay attention to any sort of highlight or detail, but right now we're not shading anything. So we're gonna keep this pretty basic because the shading is gonna come next class. Okay. And you can see, there we go. I already have a significant amount of my portrait done. Whoa, I'm starting to see Mr. Merle here. And if you guys are having issues, you can always restart. But I expect before next class, you to have an entire pencil drawing completely done, lightly drawn, and I want your grid to stay on it because I want to be able to tell you guys, you know, if you have areas that are not proportionate, where you need to go back. Because at this point, I already have an image that you crop digitally, and then I should also be able to see this drawing before next class as well, before we start to shade, because there's really no point in shading, guys, if you guys do not have an accurate portrait. So as much time as it takes, maybe you get it done in one take and it only takes you, you know, an hour. Maybe it takes you a little bit longer, and that's okay, but it should be accurate. So right now I can see there's a degree of accuracy here. I am already, believe it or not, halfway done with my portrait. Now, some of you guys are not this fast. I am, all right, and I expect you guys to be doing your best, okay? So once you get this finished, submit it, and you will title it Contour Portrait Drawing as a new slide. Good luck, everybody. Show me your stuff.